Good morning, everybody. This week we've been working on a little van. We've been working on the cooling system. I just wanted to share with you a couple things. I think the cooling system is probably one of the most forgotten things and least taken care of on a car that there probably is. Most people just run the coolant from forever and don't drain or flush it. And that can cause some real problems. But I wanted to talk in general on a cooling system and why it's so important. The cooling system's job is to extract the heat from the engine that's not needed, and it needs to be dissipated. When you burn a gallon of gasoline, the energy that's in that gallon of gasoline is, for practical purposes here, a third of that energy goes to the transmission and drives the vehicle. Another third goes to the exhaust system and is lost through heat through the exhaust, comes out the tailpipe. And the last third goes to the cooling system, which is necessary to keep the engine cool. So the cooling system is really, really important. And there's some little facts on the cooling system that might be interesting. Water boils at 212 degrees, okay? If you mix it with antifreeze, the boiling point goes up to about 226 degrees. So you get about a 14-degree rise if you run 50-50 antifreeze. And that is the mixture that's recommended by most manufacturers, okay? If you put a pressurized radiator cap on it, you will raise the boiling point to 259 degrees. That's 47 degrees above what water normally boils at. And when you do that, it allows you to run a high temperature thermostat, 195 degree thermostat, which helps make the engine more efficient, and also it helps get you some heat out of the heater. So why is antifreeze important and the maintenance of it important? Well, it raises the boiling point of the coolant to allow you to run a higher temperature thermostat. It prevents corrosion in the system. Remember, the inside of most engines are either iron or aluminum, and obviously, like iron, tend to corrode. And aluminum's got its own special problems, okay? The antifreeze lubricates the water pump, and the biggest deal is it prevents the water from freezing. If you're going to run water in your engine and it's going to drop below 32 degrees, if that water freezes in that block, the engine's junk. I mean, it'll just destroy it. So it's really a big deal. So how long does antifreeze last? Well, the old stuff, like in the old van back here, they used to recommend the green antifreeze about 2 years, drain and flush, or 24,000 miles, I think was the recommendation. The newer antifreeze that the cars have today, I'm going to say it's red because that's what Dexcool is. That's what GM uses. I think that's a trademark of theirs. I think they recommend 5 years or 50,000 miles or something like that. I mean, it's fantastic, quite a bit longer between changes. Obviously, behind me, this is a radiator. Give you an idea. If you don't know what one looks like, that's what one looks like. The secret behind the radiator, the cap. And that's what puts the pressure on the system and allows you to run really hot without boiling the water. You heard about people checking the cooling system, and they're going to take a look at it when it's hot, and they're going to take the cap off. Well, if the cooling system is running 240 degrees and it's hot as can be, and it's under 12 pounds of pressure, and you take this cap off, what you do is you let the pressure off the cooling system. The minute the pressure goes away, the coolant will start to boil, and you have got a real mess on your hands, including getting burned, scalded, or whatever. Pressurized radiator cap, very important. Don't look at this thing when it's hot. And the new cars, most of them have coolant recovery systems, which allow you anytime to look at the coolant recovery jar and see how much antifreeze is in there. If you don't see any antifreeze in the coolant recovery jar, you're obviously low in the radiator. I mean, period. That's just how it works. So one of the things I just wanted to mention is everybody knows what the radiator looks like. Does anybody know what this is? I bet you do. Maybe you don't. This is a heater core. So part of the water when the engine's running, of course, the engine's hot. If you're running 195 degree thermostat, the engine somewhere's around 190, 195 degrees, and it's sending water to this pipe, going through here and coming back and going back to the block on the other pipe. There's also a fan in here, behind here, and it blows air across here. And of course, that's where you get your heat for cold weather. So this is kind of an important thing. Now I'm going to show you a picture just how important it is to change antifreeze when you're supposed to. This coil is junk. It leaks. Okay? The coil's inside the car. It's underneath the dash. If it leaks, the antifreeze goes on the floor. And obviously, if it leaks, you can't hold pressure on the cooling system, so the boiling point drops. So now you got another issue. Okay? So this part by itself isn't that expensive. I think this is out of my '99 Silverado that I bought that had a lot of issues. Okay? And one of the issues was the guy that had it before didn't take care of it. Probably didn't understand how important it was. Okay? So he never changed antifreeze, and it rotted the heater core out. Okay, how much is this heater core? This heater core was about $60. Okay, for a $60 part, I was able to find online for that Silverado I have that they want $1,100 to go in and change this part. So with the picture, you get some idea how far apart I had to take this car to get this out and to get a new one in. Okay? It was unbelievable. I mean, some people, I've even heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but when they start building a new car, this is the first piece they bring out to the assembly line, the heater core. The rest of the car is built all around it. I don't know if that's true or not, that's just what I heard. So, every 5 years or so, change the antifreeze. I think it's a big deal. Okay, and have it flushed and have it done right. And that's my 2 cents worth on cooling. Goodbye.